So we are reading Rich Dad Poor Dad by Robert K. Kiyosaki. We are on the chapter Still Want More. Here is some to-dos. It's chapter 10 of the book and chapter 9 of the PDF. Page number 243 of the book and
169 of the PDF. Still want more? Here are some to-dos. Many people may not be satisfied with my 10 steps. They see them more as philosophies than actions. I think understanding the philosophy is just as important as the action. There are many people who want to do instead of think. And then there are people who think but do not do. I would say that I am both. I love new ideas and I love action.
so again, he's saying the same thing, right? What we continuously talk over here, that you have to have the information and you have to have the experience. Only then it becomes wisdom. Either one of them without the other simply does not work, right? So he says there are many people who want to do instead of think. So they don't have the information, they just want the experience. So they don't get anything. And there are other people who have the information but won't do anything. So again, it doesn't work.
So, for those who want a to do list on how to get started, I will share with you some of the things I do in abbreviated form.
Slow down, Shiva.
Stop doing what you're doing. In other words, take a break and assess what is working and what is not working. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result. Stop doing what is not working and look for something new.
So this is important, right? We are constantly saying that if you're using the process to make aloo jeera, you cannot expect aloo dum. So over here, he's saying the same thing over here, that if you need to start assessing, you need to start understanding around you what is working and what is not working. Now, if something is not working and you keep doing the same process and expecting that it will work, it is never going to work. So you need to figure out new ways of doing, new ways of being, new ways and new things to do all the time, right? So that you can integrate, you can mix and match and create a new khichdi for yourself, right? So that's why we are doing so many tools. We are getting so many tools in all the awareness programs, all the other programs that are being organized. You need to create your own system using all the tools. Okay. So that's when it becomes empowering.
Look for new ideas. For new investing ideas, I go to bookstores and search for books on different and unique subjects. I call them formulas. I buy how-to books on formulas I know nothing about. For example, in the bookstore, I found the book, The 16% Solution by Joel Moskowitz. I bought the book and read it, and the next Thursday, I did exactly as the book said. Most people do not take action, or they let someone talk them out of whatever new formula they are studying. My neighbor told me why 16% would not work. I did not listen to him because he'd never done it.
So now again, many people will deter you from doing something, right? But most of the time, they themselves have got no experience about that. So unless a person has actually done it and has experience about something, it's better to get the experience for yourself. At least try it. Yeah, attempt to do it with that process. If it works, what is the problem? What is the harm if something works? There's no harm if something works.
Find someone who has done what you want to do. Take them to lunch and ask them for tips and tricks of the trade. As for 16% lien certificates, I went to the county tax office and found the government employee who worked in that office. I found out that she too invested in the tax liens. Immediately, I invited her to lunch. She was thrilled to tell me everything she knew and how to do it. After lunch, she spent all afternoon showing me everything. By the next day, I found two great properties with her help that have been accruing interest at 16% ever since. It took a day to read the book, a day to take action, an hour for lunch, and a day to acquire two great deals.
So when we are open to the opportunities and we start saying yes to what the universe is giving to us, then the magic starts to happen, right? So what did he do? He found that book, he read that book, he took action, which resulted in having something created for himself. Most of the time we hear something, but we are not willing to act, right? We are not willing to talk, we are not willing to investigate, we are not willing to study. Now that becomes important, to be able to open ourselves to studying new things and then acting on them.
Take classes, read and attend seminars. I search newspapers and the internet for new and interesting classes, many of which are free or inexpensive. I also attend and pay for expensive seminars on what I want to learn. I am wealthy and free from needing a job simply because of the courses I took. I have friends who did not take those classes who told me I was wasting my money, and yet they are still at the same job.
So again over here, right? You have to educate yourself. You have to keep increasing your horizon. You have to keep increasing your repertoire. And the best way to do it is to attend seminars. If you can get something connected with your stuff, very good. Otherwise, if something else is manifesting, attend something, hear new things, do new things. That is extremely important. Otherwise, you'll get stuck in the rut, and then you'll be doing the same thing like like that a guinea pig who's stuck, or the rat who's stuck in that wheel. You'll keep running all the time, and nothing is going to come out of it because you're stuck in the rut. We have to step out of the rut, and the best way to do it is to attend processes, to talk to people, to attend new things. Very, very important. I've said it many times. Personally, I at least attend 4 work programs every year, somewhere or the other, minimum, if not more.
Make lots of offers. When I want a piece of real estate, I look at many properties and generally write an offer. If you don't know what the right offer is, neither do I. That is the job of the real estate agent. They make the offers. I do as little work as possible.
So again, associate with people who know the job, right? Build a rapport with them, build a trust with them. So know that when they are telling you something, they're coming out of care, naturally. And in the previous chapters, he said, pay your brokers well, right? So when you pay your broker well, the broker will look after your needs also. So instead of squeezing everyone for everything, be a little generous. So when that happens, people automatically gravitate towards you to want to do your jobs. And then they do the best job for you because they know that they will be paid for it. So over here he says that it's the job of the real estate agent. They make the offer. I do as little as possible. So he's making many people work for him rather than doing all the work himself.
A friend wanted me to show her how to buy apartment houses. So one Saturday, she, her agent, and I went and looked at 6 apartment houses. 4 were dogs, but 2 were good. I said to write offers on all 6, offering half of what the owners asked for. She and the agent nearly had heart attacks. They thought it was rude and would offend the sellers. But I really don't think the agent wanted to work that hard. So they did nothing and went on looking for a better deal. No offers were ever made, and that person is still looking for the right deal at the right price. Well, you don't know what the right price is until you have a second party who wants to deal. Most sellers ask too much. It is rare that a seller asks a price that is less than something is worth. Moral of the story: make offers. People who are not investors have no idea what it feels like to try to sell something. I have had a piece of real estate that I wanted to sell for months. I would have welcomed any offer. They could have offered me 10 pigs and I would have been happy. Not at the offer, but just because someone was interested. I would have countered maybe for a pig farm in exchange. But that's how the game works. The game of buying and selling is fun. Keep that in mind. It's fun and only a game. Make offers. Someone might say yes.
So this becomes important. This is basically on the American system where if you put your house on sale, people will make an offer and there'll be tags attached to the offer. So the buyer will then pick one of the offers which is the best suited for him. Many times people ask for delayed payment. Some people say that I'll give so much down. Some people say I'll give more down. Okay, so all those factors start to come into play. So, but if you do not take action into whatever you're doing, now this you can convert into anything that is happening in your life. If you don't take action, then you are stuck. Like that other person never made any offer, so they never got a real estate. So, like that, whatever opportunity you get, if you're not going to take action, you're stuck in the same place. You're not going to grow.
I always make offers with escape clauses. In real estate, I make an offer with language that details subject to contingencies such as the approval of a business partner. Never specify who the business partner is. Most people don't know that my partner is my cat. If they accept the offer and I don't want the deal, I call home and speak to my cat. I make this ridiculous statement to illustrate how absurdly easy and simple the game is. So many people make things too difficult and take it too seriously.
So you're always keeping an escape clause, right? So he is always keeping an escape clause. So he's made an offer and he can reject the offer. Now, if let's say he's made an offer for 50% of the value that the seller is asking, so there's a very high chance that he will get a good deal because the seller may be in distress and may even sell at half the price.
Finding a good deal, the right business, the right people, the right investors, or whatever it is, just like dating. You must go to the market and talk to a lot of people, make a lot of offers, counter offers, negotiate, reject, and accept. I know single people who sit at home and wait for the phone to ring, but it's better to go to the market, even if it's only the supermarket. Search, offer, reject, negotiate, and accept all parts of the process of almost everything in life.
So again, it's true for finding a good deal. It's true for finding a partner. It's true for doing anything that you do in life. Unless you get active, you will have downs, you will have ups. But the more resilient you are, the better chances of success.
Jog, walk, or drive a certain area once a month for 10 minutes. I have found some of my best real estate investments doing this. I will jog a certain neighborhood for a year and look for change. For there to be a profit in a deal, there must be two elements, a bargain and change. There are lots of bargains, but it's change that turns a bargain into a profitable opportunity. So when I jog a neighborhood I might like to invest in. It is the repetition that causes me to notice slight differences. I notice real estate signs that are up for a long time. That means the seller might be more agreeable to deal. I watch for moving trucks going in or out. I stop and talk to the drivers. I talk to the postal carriers. It's amazing how much information they acquire about an area. I find a bad area, especially an area that the news has scared everyone away from. I drive it for some times a year, waiting for signs of something changing for the better. I talk to retailers, especially new ones, and find out why they're moving in. It takes only a few minutes a month, and I do it while doing something else, like exercising or going to and from the store. Shop for bargains in all markets. Consumers will always be poor. When the supermarket has a sale, say on toilet paper, the consumer runs in and stocks up. But when the housing or stock market has a sale, most often called a crash or correction, the same consumer often runs away from it. When the supermarket raises its prices, the consumer shops somewhere else. But when housing or the stock market raises their prices, the same consumer often rushes in and starts buying. Always remember, profits are made in the buying, not in the selling. Look in the right place. A neighbor bought a condominium for $100,000. I bought the identical condo next door for $50,000. He told me he's waiting for the price to go up. I told him that profit is made when you buy, not when you sell. He shopped with a real estate broker who owns no property of her own. I shopped at the foreclosure auction. I paid $500 for a class on how to do this. My neighbor thought that the $500 for a real estate investment class was too expensive. He said he could not afford the money or the time, so he waits for the price to go up.
So, so the more knowledgeable you are, the more you learn about something that you're going to do, the better you will be at it.
Look for people who want to buy first, then look for someone who wants to sell. A friend was looking for a certain piece of land. He had the money but did not have the time. I found a large piece of land larger than what my friend wanted to buy, tied it up with an option, called my friend, and he said he wanted a piece of it. So I sold the piece to him and then bought the land. I kept the remaining land as mine for free. Moral of the story, buy the pie and cut it in pieces. Most people look for what they can afford, so they look too small. They buy only a piece of the pie, so they end up paying more for less. Small thinkers don't get big breaks. If you want to get richer, think big. Think big. Retailers love giving volume discounts simply because most business people love big spenders. So even if you're small, you can always think big. When my company was in the market for computers, I called several friends and asked them if they were ready to buy also. We then went to different dealers and negotiated a great deal because we wanted to buy so many. I have done the same with stocks. Small people remain small because they think small. Act alone or don't act at all.
So again, collaboration, cooperation, very big thing. Asking for help. This is something that we learn in the gateway affirmation, that asking for help is a wonderful and a very powerful tool in itself. So when you're doing something, ask for help, reach out, becomes extremely important.
Learn from history. All the big companies on the stock exchange started out as small companies. Colonel Sanders did not get rich until after he lost everything in his 60s. Bill Gates was one of the richest men in the world before he was 30. Action always beats inaction.
So this becomes very important, right? If you are not taking action, you can go nowhere, right? So any kind of action is better than inaction. Worst case scenario, you'll make a mistake, but you will learn from your mistake. So the next time you do something, you will be more aware, you will have learned something, and then you move ahead. So always take action. That is, sitting in your butt doing nothing achieves nothing.
Sorry. Action always beats inaction. These are just a few of the things I have done and continue to do to recognize opportunities. The important words are have done and do. As repeated many times throughout the book, you must take action before you can receive the financial rewards. Act now. Final thoughts. I would like to share some final thoughts with you. The main reason I wrote this book and the reason it has remained a bestseller since 2000 was to share insights into how increased financial intelligence can be used to solve many of life's common problems. Without financial training, we all too often use the standard formulas to get through life: work hard, save, borrow, and pay excessive taxes. Today, more than ever, we need better information. I use this following story as an example of a financial problem that confronts many young families today. How do you afford a good education for your children and provide for your own retirement? It requires using financial intelligence instead of hard work. A friend of mine was griping one day about how hard it was to save money for his four children's college educations. He was putting $300 away in a college fund each month and had so far accumulated only about $12,000. He had about 12 more years to save for college since his oldest child was then 6 years old. At the time, the real estate market in Phoenix was terrible. People were giving houses away. I suggested to my friend that he buy a house with some of the money in his college fund. The idea intrigued him, and we began to discuss the possibility. His primary concern was that he did not have credit with the bank to buy another house since he was so overextended. I assured him that there were other ways to finance a property rather than through the bank. We looked for a house for 2 weeks, a house that would fit all our criteria. There was plenty to choose from, so shopping was fun. Finally, we found a 3 bedroom, 2 bath home in a prime neighborhood. The owner had been downsized and needed to sell that day because he and his family were moving to California where another job waited. The owner wanted $102,000, but we offered only $79,000. He took it immediately and agreed to carry back the loan with a 10% down payment. All my friend had to come up with was $7,900. As soon as the owner moved, my friend put the house up for rent. After all expenses were paid, including the mortgage, he put about $125 in his pocket each month. His plan was to keep the house for 12 years and let the mortgage get paid down faster by applying the extra $125 to the principal each month. We figured that in 12 years, a large portion of the mortgage would be paid off and he could possibly be clearing $800 a month by the time his first child went to college. He could also sell the house if it had appreciated in value. 3 years later, the real estate market greatly improved in Phoenix and he was offered $156,000 for the same house by the tenant who lived in it. Again, he asked me what I thought. I advised that he sell it using a 1031 tax deferred exchange. Suddenly, he had nearly $80,000 to operate with. I called another friend in Austin, Texas, who then moved this tax deferred capital gain into a mini storage facility. Within 3 months, he began receiving checks for a little less than $1,000 a month, which he then poured back into the college fund. A couple of years later, the mini warehouse sold and he received a check for nearly $330,000 as proceeds from the sale. He rolled those funds into a new project that would now generate over $3,000 a month in income again, going into the college fund. He is now very confident that his goal will be met easily. It took only $7,900 to start and a little financial intelligence. His children will be able to afford the education they want, and he will then use the underlying asset wrapped in his legal entity to pay for his retirement. As a result of this successful investment strategy, he will be able to retire early. Thank you for reading this book. I hope it has provided some insights into utilizing the power of money to work for you. Today, we need greater financial intelligence to simply survive. The idea that it takes money to make money is the thinking of financially unsophisticated people. It does not mean that they are not intelligent. They have simply not learned the science of money making money. Money is only an idea if you want more money. Simply change your thinking. Every self-made person started small with an idea and then turned it into something big. The same applies to investing. It takes only a few dollars to start and grow it into something big. I meet so many people who spend their lives chasing the big deal or trying to amass a lot of money to get into a big deal. But to me, that is foolish. Too often, I have seen unsophisticated investors put their large nest egg into one deal and lose most of it rapidly. They may have been good workers, but they were not good investors. Education and wisdom about money are important. Start early, buy a book, go to a seminar, practice. Start small. I turned $5,000 cash into a $1 million asset, producing $5,000 a month cash flow in less than 6 years. But I started learning as a kid. I encourage you to learn because it's not that hard. In fact, it's pretty easy once you get the hang of it. I think I have made my message clear. It's what is in your head that determines what is in your hands. Money is only an idea. There is a great book called Think and Grow Rich. The title is not Work Hard and Grow Rich. Learn to have money work hard for you, and your life will be easier and happier. Today, don't play it safe, play it smart. The three incomes. In the world of accounting, there are three different types of income: ordinary earned, portfolio, and passive. When my poor dad said to me, go to school, get good grades, and find a safe, secure job, he was recommending I work for earned income. When my rich dad said, the rich don't work for money, they have their money work for them, he was talking about passive income and portfolio income. Passive income, in most cases, is income derived from real estate investment. Portfolio income is income derived from paper assets such as stocks and bonds. Portfolio income is the income that makes Bill Gates the richest man in the world, not earned income. Rich Dad used to say, the key to becoming wealthy is the ability to convert earned income into passive income or portfolio income as quickly as possible. He would say, taxes are highest on earned income. The least taxed income is passive income. That is another reason why you want your money working hard for you. The government taxes the income you work hard for more than the income your money works hard for. In my second book, Rich Dad's Cash Flow Quadrant, I explain the four different types of people who make up the world of business. They are employee, E, self-employed, S, business owners, B, and I, investor. Quadrant is written about the core differences of these four types and how the cash flow quadrant is written about the core differences of these four types and how people can change their quadrant. In fact, most of our products are created for people in the B and I quadrants. In Rich Dad's Guide to Investing, book number 3 in the Rich Dad series, I go into more detail on the importance of converting earned income into passive and portfolio income. Rich Dad used to say, all a real investor does is convert earned income into passive and portfolio income. If you know what you're doing, investing is not risky. It's just common sense.
So maybe we'll read the cash flow quadrant in another 2 or 3 months, maybe.
The key to financial freedom. The key to financial freedom and great wealth is a person's ability to convert earned income into passive and or portfolio income. My rich dad spent a lot of time teaching Mike and me this skill. Having this ability is the reason my wife Kim and I are financially free, never needing to work again. We continue to work because we choose to. Today, we own a real estate investment company for passive income and participate in private placements and initial public offerings of stock for portfolio income. We also went back to work to build a financial education company so that we can continue to create and publish books and games. All of our educational products are created to teach the same skills my rich dad taught me, the skills of converting earned income into passive and portfolio income.
I hope you all have understood, right? The earned income is what you're getting a salary for, technically speaking, right? The passive income is something that you don't work for. It just keeps generating money and you don't have to do anything. Portfolio income is basically what you are investing in, mainly the stock market, which continues to grow, and also you get dividend incomes. Again, you don't work for it, right? So the more money that you're generating that comes out of passive and portfolio investments, or the portfolio branch of earning money, or the passive branch of earning money, the better off you are, because then you don't work hard, you work intelligently.
The games we create are important because they teach what books cannot teach. For example, you could never learn to ride a bicycle by only reading a book.
Shimura soda.
Our cash flow games for adults and cash flow for kids games are designed to teach players the basic investment skills of converting earned income into passive and portfolio income. They also teach the principles of accounting and financial literacy. These games are the only educational products in the world that teach people all of these skills simultaneously. Cash Flow 202 is the advanced version of Cash Flow 101 and requires the game board for 101 as well as a full understanding of 101, the principles of fundamental investing. Cash Flow 202 teaches the principles of technical investing. Technical investing involves advanced trading techniques such as short selling, call options, put options, and straddles.
So these options, right, they are available in Indian markets also, where you pay a small amount for the option. That means that suppose you want to sell a stock, right? So you say in the future, I will sell this stock at this amount and you get a premium for it, right? Now, if the stock rises, then the person who has bought the option from you will ask you to give the delivery to him. So you make a slight loss, but you've already collected a premium. So if the stock price rises more than the premium you've collected, then you may have to shug out something from your pocket to deliver the stock. But if the stock rises less, then you pocket that amount in your pocket. Okay. Likewise, you can give an option that at a certain date, I will buy this stock at this price. Now, if the price remains lower and it is lower than the premium that you have paid, then you don't need to buy the stock. You have paid the premium. Now, if it rises above that, then you say that you please give me the stock at this amount that I had said that I will buy it at, and then you can sell that stock at a higher rate. So you actually don't sell the stock, you just play with the premiums, right? But it is speculation. So you have to be very agile in the way that you are investing.
A person who understands these advanced techniques is able to make money when the market goes up as well as when the market comes down. As my rich dad would say, a real investor makes money in an up market and a down market. That is why they make so much money. One of the reasons they make more money is simply because they have more self confidence. Rich dad would say they have more self confidence because they are less afraid of losing. In other words, the average investor does not make as much money because they are so afraid of losing money. The average investor does not know how to protect themselves from losses, and that is what Cash Flow 202 teaches. Average investors think investing is risky because they have not been formally trained to be professional investors. As Warren Buffett, America's richest investor, says, risk comes from not knowing what you're doing. My board game teach the simple basics of fundamental investing and technical investing while people are having fun. I occasionally hear someone say, your educational games are expensive, which poses the question of ROI, the return on investment, or the value returned for the price paid. I nod my head and reply, yes, they may be expensive, especially when compared to entertainment board games, but my games are not as expensive as a college education. Working hard all your life for earned income paying excessive taxes, and then living in terror of losing all of your money in the investment markets. When someone walks away mumbling about the price, I can hear my rich dad saying, if you want to be rich, you must know what kind of income to work hard for, how to keep it, and how to protect it from loss. That is the key to great wealth. Rich Dad would also say, if you do not understand the differences in those three incomes and do not learn the skills on how to acquire and protect those incomes, you will probably spend your life earning less than you could and working hard than you should.
So this is very important. If you want to be rich, you must know what kind of income to work hard for, how to keep it, and how to protect it from loss. So you've earned a lot of money, right? Someone wins a lottery ticket, but he does not know how to keep the money, how to invest the money. He is going to be worse off later after the money finishes than when he was before he got the lottery ticket. So it's very important not only to earn money, but know how to use it, how to keep it, and how to protect it. Right? It becomes extremely important here.
My poor dad thought a good education, a good job, and years of hard work were all you needed to be successful. My rich dad also thought a good education was important, but to him it was also important that Mike and I know the differences in the three incomes and what kind of income to work hard for. To him, that was basic financial education. Knowing the differences in the three incomes and learning the investment skills of how to acquire the different incomes is basic education for anyone who strives to acquire great wealth and achieve financial freedom, a special kind of freedom that only a few will ever know. As Rich Dad states in lesson number one, the rich do not work for money, they know how to have money work hard for them. Rich Dad said, ordinary earned income is money you work for, and passive and portfolio income is money working for you. Knowing that little difference has been significant in my life, or as Robert Frost ends his poem, and that has made all the difference. Take action. All of you were given two great gifts, your mind and your time. It is up to you to do what you please with both. With each dollar bill that enters your hand, you and only you have the power to determine your destiny. Spend it foolishly and you choose to be poor. Spend it on liabilities and you join the middle class. Invest it in your mind and learn how to acquire assets, and you will be choosing wealth as your goal and your future. The choice is yours and only yours. Every day, with every dollar, you decide to be rich, poor, or middle class. Choose to share this knowledge with your children, and you choose to prepare them for the world that awaits. No one else will. You and your children's future will be determined by choices you make today, not tomorrow. I wish you great wealth and much happiness with this fabulous gift called life. Robert Kiyosaki.
Yeah. Go down. Yeah. So I think this is over now. Can stop.